Hello, everyone. I'm Christina. It's Friday afternoon. Man, I still got that glare on my computer. Just drives me crazy. Sorry about that for all of you. Come back later and see it. Golly, is my live chat not working today? Because I can't even type anything. Mm, that is not fair. Anyway, okay, people are starting to come in. That's good. All right. I know it's been a while, but like life can just get a little overwhelming sometimes. A lot of big changes have been happening around me, and I've got my daughter. She just got a job, so and the shelf is going to be ready on Sunday for the serving shelf for the food trailer. So it's a lot more than that, but it's just a lot of big stuff. It's like, oh. Anyway, but let's go ahead and get into what's going on. This live chat just does not look like it is working at all. I hate it when that happens. Thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. I'm glad to see the char coming in. I'm sorry about the chat. I don't know what's up with that. I haven't changed anything, right? Okay, let's get into what the subject's about. All right. It's growing crisis with American shortages, right? First, we had the Colonial Pipeline crisis. It was basically a grid attack. And it is an attack. Now, who actually did it? It's always Russia, Russia, Russia. And maybe it was one of their people or one of their attack on hackers, or maybe with somebody who wants to push an infrastructure bill through. Maybe it could have been somebody closer to home. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm just saying that's the way it felt at first. And then all of a sudden, of course, naturally, they had to pay the ransom because they were losing a lot of money, and the gas runs began. The gas station started running out of fuel. Long gas lines. There were over 1,000 gas stations out, according to Paul Begley, a couple of days ago, right before they paid the ransom, got it back online. But then to top it all off, we suddenly have this major crack. And this was after the Suez kind of just seemed to start all this, really. But now it's a Mississippi bridge that completely stopped transport across the Mississippi River. And that 700 or more barges are backed up. Now, I mean, as if that isn't enough, right? It's just kind of like, no, this can't be happening, right? But think about the last time I was on here, if you were here. I mentioned John Paul Jackson, I think it was, his prophecies, right? That he saw coming up, one of the headlines, right? Now get this. Number 5 was the Great Divide, the new normal on the Mississippi River. He says it's after an earthquake, and maybe it was. Maybe that's how the crack got there. But he said you can't go all the way up the Mississippi River anymore. And I mean, I just said that like last week, and that's basically what it's looking like right now. You can't trek the whole river for whatever reason. It's backing up the barges. So you have to ask yourself, how would this situation immediately affect America? And I think that we're already starting to see how. We're already seeing all over. We actually went over a lot of the shortages to expect and why a few videos back. And we're seeing all of this really coming into play. Okay. So we have less to choose from. The price is up. That means that we have more demand and product, which means the prices are going to go up and you're going to have those shortages. Okay. But when you have not just that, but your actual infrastructure falling apart too, as far as, get this, talk about infrastructure. Where is that? Oh yeah. Biden wants IRS powers to track taxpayers' money flow. Okay. And that means that they want access to your bank accounts. And when I did videos a few months back about watch your bank accounts, watch them. They're going to start going for your bank accounts next. But so like if grandma gives you $100 for your birthday, they really want to nail you for that, money. Any little penny, they're going to be looking to find out, how's everything coming and going into your business. That's how money hungry and how desperate they're starting to get. But it looks like the sad thing is they've spent us into such oblivion that's why they need to hike up the taxes to push infrastructure, because they spent it all. and they can't. But see, like I said, if we've got what's it called, earthquakes, and we've got a big shaking coming, like I said, infrastructure would only be a band-aid right now. You can't really overhaul it right now. It would end up being a waste of money. I think that the crack in that bridge could be evidence that things are shaking over there, because they do have a volcano. The Mississippi's run backwards before, and around Shreveport, Louisiana, has even been having earthquakes, right? Okay, so Phil Flynn says we're going to have a very expensive summer due to the inflation cycle, no matter what. And then to top it all off, they've been fighting up and around the Michigan area about Pipeline 5. Fight to keep fuel line operating. And I'm speculating, but I just keep smelling Green New Deal push. Like, let's get rid of all the fossil fuel right now. It seems so much bigger than that, But they were fighting it last I heard, and they're waiting for a court order. But here we are. We're on the verge of some pretty hard times. And you always can tell when, like, say, a hurricane's going to hit or whatever, you can tell who prepared ahead of time and who did not. And most of the time, it's most people that did not prepare. And that is a scary thing. It doesn't matter how much you try to tell people, how many people have had visions about this ahead of time over the last few years. Even in the face of it, I wonder if there are still people that are thinking, okay, I'm going to get raptured before anything bad happens. We don't have to listen to these brothers and sisters that have been told to prepare from God, because we're going to be raptured. It's just, or they think things will just get better, or, maybe it'll be more like the recession of 2008. No, our supply is being choked off. Our actual ability to get products, and the seed shortage rumors have started. I always told y'all, man, watch, the seed shortages will come someday. So I hope y'all are saving those. There's more to talk about. Okay. Now, what was interesting also to me is, like, I was just looking a few days back and over the last week about what America and Biden has been talking about as far as Israel and Palestinian peace. And they were just going on and on about this 2-state solution. And then here we are, there's a big crack in the Mississippi River Bridge, just certain things. It's like, stop messing with Israel. Okay. So I just want to remind everybody again to start looking at videos about how you can turn trash plastic into diesel fuel. Okay. There's also a labor shortage movement going on, which worked out because, my daughter easily got a job when we needed her to get one. She's ready. She's almost an adult. Okay. We want to talk about the fallen angels for a little bit, the angels that we knew would be coming back. Revelation 12 sign really talked about Satan and his angels being thrown down. And so we have to remember that there are people that should be walking among us that aren't human, even if they look like it. And we have to remember what they did last time they were here with animals. They wanted to also corrupt the human flesh, the human DNA. Okay. So they would probably want to seek to corrupt the DNA again. Okay. And something else interesting, a mysterious syndrome that was first detected in Cuba is now reported in the U.S. called Savannah syndrome. All these certain funguses and syndromes and plagues that are happening, and people, they just think it's time to party like 1999. Oh, I hate that the chat is off, y'all. I really, really hate it. I don't know how to fix that. It just randomly did that for the second time. But anyway, corruption of the flesh, you talk about cloning, meds writing changes onto your DNA, and then the entrance of self-replicating nanoparticles into the body, RFID chips, the pharmaceuticals themselves destroying us, our minds, addicting people, just stealing their souls. And now they want to put chips in these medications so that the pharmacist and doctor can tell if you've taken your pill and how many you've taken. Okay. And they're talking about spores to track your food. I mean, this is crazy. Okay. I don't know if I can even trust to eat food from the store soon, right? But when it talks about what's going on in our world, maybe we can see evidence that they're here considering what's going on. And so it also brings entertaining angels to a different level, because it says sometimes you're entertaining angels, sometimes maybe you're entertaining fallen angels nowadays. If anybody can understand what I'm saying there, we're in the last days, and I'm pretty sure everybody's here that's supposed to be here, including the fallen angels. So I think that we need to be aware. And I mean, you can see an increase in, like, how would we know that there's not a fallen angel somewhere leading BLM or Antifa or something? How would we know? How would we? I mean, but you see evidence of people that were waiting to accept them years ago, like how some of these secret groups seem to work and have kind of been in the shadows for hundreds of years, it seems like, and behind everything. But since right about the medieval ages, I think, somewhere around right after the Knights Templar, I started a little research into that. I mean, you can't help it because the symbols are everywhere, on all the schools here, they're everywhere, you know. But what was it when President Trump was in office? Wasn't it him that when he was in office, they were talking about getting ready to accept aliens, the arrival of aliens or whatever. And I was like, those aren't aliens, those are fallen angels, but they're supposed to bring a solution to the world's problems, and they're just going to cause all the chaos they usually do. It's, the usual bait and switch. It's going to be kind of how it is. So yeah, I just think it was interesting that the 2-state solution was being talked about, and this is just steadily getting worse for us. This mysterious syndrome, Havana syndrome, people aren't sure why people are developing these symptoms. So there's another mysterious plague breaking out. Okay. So I'll let y'all look that up whenever you have a chance. And I also wanted to point out, while they're sitting there wanting to micro nanny your account and give the IRS that kind of power, I've been looking at some of these palm secure sensors, where you can just put your palm down, or at first you could wave your hand because the RFID chip, but now not only want to do that, they want your actual palm print, and they want to be able to make out the vein pattern in your hands, right? So I was looking at these machines, and guess what? They are mostly right-handed from what I can see. Right-handed machines. And I know, what was it? Ken Peters talked about that. Sure enough, did. Okay. Oh, yes. Let's not forget, you want to talk about changing DNA. They got now GMO mosquitoes being released in Florida. I mean, come on. I mean, what more evidence do we need? I mean, everything is just like they want it to be. It's like it's happening. They want to break everything down so they can rebuild everything in the way they want it to be. And so here we are. We're looking at literally the choking of our airways with just the way that it's going down. It's all like the infrastructure places. But, I was sitting here thinking about this whole carbon thing. They're against carbon. We're carbon-based creatures. It just seems like, I mean, I was wondering, like, hey, is that kind of like code for everything that needs to die? But we're almost done here. Also wanted to mention that I just think it's really suspicious that Amazon was offering gift cards for you to get your vaccinations. I mean, have you ever heard of that before? That's crazy. Anyway, I want to let y'all know that I'll try to be here soon. Again, I know it's been a while. I haven't been here as much lately, but really a lot's been going on. And, I'm preparing too. But I encourage you to like, subscribe, share the videos. And whenever the chat's working, I love it when you comment. So thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.